All right. Welcome. Welcome to another good day that God has made. Because God is the maker of all things. Listen, I would like to say that here at Trauma Support Group Management by Mr. Darrell Walker, God gave me this idea to come up with sharing my personal life, sharing that you can change, and also not only sharing but teaching you as well. So I want to inform you today that if you watch my videos or you probably checking me out, I will say this. God has gave me everything I got. I think I said in most of my videos, but sometimes you have to be obedient. So because obedience is better than sacrifice. So today, before we say anything, God gets the glory in my videos, in my lifestyle, in my decision making, in my whole being. God gets the glory. So today in your lifestyle, if you've been through traumas, let me say it right. If you have been through traumas, triggers, PTSDs, addictions, and illness, and trials and errors in your life, know that where you stand at today and the things that you went through, God gets the glory. So for those who are watching today, if you know the old me and you see me talking today, and y'all remember me used to being on the corners and being in addiction and gang banging and getting that money, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes really looking bad. I remember I had a season in my life where I was looking bad, but the Bible says this: forget those things which are behind and press towards the prize. So there's a balance in that. Don't forget where you come from, but also look forward and move in life, because the past likes to remind you of the past, and that's all it is the past. You can't change the past, you can't do nothing in the past, but you can change your present and your future. So here at Trauma Support Group Management, I'm going to teach you or share with you that you can change your present and your future, but you can't change your past. So we all know that. We already know that how much of a mess we was. We already know the mistakes we made. And sometimes that can be discouraging. Especially when you have made change and you are making change. Sometimes you can say out your mouth positively, I am making change. I have made so much change in my life. And sometimes when I speak to people or I hear people speak about me, is not to where I'm up, where I'm at. So, but guess what? I can't control how nobody talk about me, but I'm gonna let you know within myself, I have changed. I'm not the person I used to be. And it's good to feel good about yourself. It's good to have good positive thoughts about yourself. Yeah, we have history, but we also have the present and the future. Now, the Bible says no man is promised tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised to no man. So sometimes instead of looking in the future, look at right now. Right now, I can look at myself right now and tell y'all I ain't the same person. And when I say I ain't, I know that sounds slang, but I'm not the same person. See how I just corrected my grammar? I would have been like, I ain't the same person. See, even when you change, you could change your grammar, you could change your attitude, you could change your facial expressions, you could change your body language, you could change your thought process, how you speak about yourself, how you carry yourself, how you dress. I would love to get on here with a suit and tie. I think that's going to be coming soon in due time. So when you feel good about yourself, you look for places in your life or in your personal walk to improve. Here at Trauma Support and Group Management, I'm here to let you know that you can improve. I am improving. You can improve, okay? So what's so wonderful about the class that I'm teaching today, this is an Endorphins part 2, the mental part, right? So in your mind, you have these chemical called endorphins, and endorphins is something that helps you feel good, okay? Now we're going to get into that. But before we get into that, I always, like I say, I always I come to you spiritually, mentally, and then emotionally. I come three ways, okay? Because that's how I rock. That's how I've been rocking since I started. Since I started trauma support group management. And I don't leave God out. God always comes first. So if you want to hear something that I'm teaching you, put God first. I am teaching. Yes, I have been teaching, and I will continue to teach that you put God first. So before we get into that, let's get into the word. Now, what you see here is a notebook that I have. I do studies. I have personal notes that I'm going to teach you, that I have studied and I have applied to my life, and I'm just going to teach you notes. But I also have here, if you've never seen one, this is a Bible. This is a real holy Bible. So I do teach from the Bible, and I do teach from my personal life experience, and I do teach from textbook studies of your mental function, because at the end of the day, I don't know if you can see that sign. It says that your mental health, let me scoot that out of my camera. It says that your mental health matters. Can you see that? Your mental health matters, all right? Because our mental health does matter, all right? Our mental health, that's what I'm here on this platform. This is what this platform is for, because the Bible tells you transform the renewing of your mind. So that's our mental health, okay? I have suffered from so many mental health diagnoses, okay? Like psychosis. Yeah, I was diagnosed with psychosis one time. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I got some legal documentation. I don't want to show all my business, but I have physical, psychological evaluation. Okay, I have psychological evaluation where I have been under doctors and the EBCD. I have discharge papers with the EBCD, and I have dealt with mental health most of my life because I have come from trauma, PTSDs, triggers, and addictions, and illnesses, mental illnesses, and physical illnesses as well. So I'm a person not just on here just running my mouth. I'm a person that really has been incarceration, on drugs, homelessness, around negative people, around demonic forces, witchcraft, voodoo. I've been around a lot of dark places in my life, but that's the past. Okay? You can't go dig up the past and expect to live the future, all right? Because it don't work, all right? And I have relapse because of people or me going back to the past. I just want to share that. Because we do talk about addictions in my class. So if you are a person out of addiction, don't go back to the things of your past, because your past will remind you of your addiction. But let's go. All right, so the person I am today is because I gave my life to Christ, and I made a decision to do better for my mental health, do my inner healing, forgiving with my trauma, PTSDs, and triggers. And I reached in myself and let things that I held in my heart that kept me in addiction to forgive and forget. Sometimes you can forgive, but you don't forget. But it's good to forgive. So I have forgiven so many people. And I'm going to make this video once again today. I have made many videos asking for forgiveness. And to those that have offended me or looked down upon me, I forgive you. I ain't even got to talk to you. I can just do it in my heart in the name of Jesus. And, with good spirituality and positivity energy, that I forgive you for anything that you have done or said about me. And this is very personal, because sometimes in the spiritual realm, you can forgive and you can get chains broken off, not only you, but that person. But sometimes we got to go to God and ask for his forgiveness. Now, I have made videos about how God has been there for me. Where I sit right now, God has brought me here. God has brought me here. I was in a mental health facility at HCAFL, Osceola Behavioral Center, which is no longer active because I was going to go back there and work there. I went there yesterday to apply for the job, and they're not there anymore. So God let me have enough time to get there to get here. Because when I was there, I didn't have no place to live, but I was dealing with my mental health, with suicidal agitation and homicidal agitation. Yeah, for real. And I got myself together. I got back on some meds, and I got myself together. But I didn't have a place to stay, and I seek God. I was in there praying, "Hey God, I don't want to go back to prison because I don't have a place to stay, because that was going to be the issue." And God came through. The room I'm sitting in right now, it's a full house. And guess what? God brought me here. God gave me. I had nothing, and I have 2 sinks. I have a walk-in shower. I have a nice full bedroom. I got a kitchen, a living room, a lake in the back. God has brought me. I will say it again. God has brought me here. Okay, and I just, I have shared this story many times, but I'm just gonna give it to you in scripture that will help you and I understand that God is in control, not man. You know what I'm saying? Not people, places, and things. Because in addiction, some people, places, and things can trigger you. And I know I've been triggered a lot, but that's, thank God for his power and his strength. So let's go to Psalms 34. All right, we're gonna go through Psalms 34, verse 4 and 5. Now, this is gonna go with the class today. This is, like I said, this is I want to say euphoria. It's not euphoria. It's endorphins part 2, the mental. Okay. Now listen, this will help some of you out that if you're in a bad place, or you're in a bad situation, or you're just going through something you don't understand. I'm going to give you my recipe, not being prideful, but my recipe. I'm going to give you something that I have discovered with my relationship with Christ, with my relationship with reading his word, that has manifested where I'm at today. Psalms 34, 4 and 5. I'm reading from the Bible. It says, I have sought the Lord. I have sought the Lord, and he heard me. So listen, I want to break this down. People you can reach out to. But in this situation, I reached out. The place where I'm at today, I have reached out to everybody. I reached out to my family members. I thank God for my pastor, my bishop, that was there for me. Yes, he was there for me. I would not say the church was not there. The church was there. I would give credit, God glory, and give credit to the church that was there. And some churches are there for people. So remember that, all right? But to a certain degree, what they were recommending for me, it was kind of like a little bit out my financial average. I couldn't really afford what they was asking for. And that's not on his bad. It's just I couldn't afford what he was asking for me to maintain, because I have other needs other than just rent. So when I called the church, I said, hey, he gave me a good price, but the price was good. I had it, but it wasn't manageable for me to maintain my lifestyle or my needs that I have personally, because I'm by myself. I have certain needs, hygiene, medicine, clothes. I needed clothes. I needed a lot of stuff coming out that situation. And the price they asked for, I could have paid it, but I looked at it and I said I couldn't afford it. So what I did was I told the pastor, I said, hey man, I thank you. We're gonna keep this door open. Hey, let me just go back into prayer and I get back with you. And what happened was I sought the Lord. I said, Lord, look, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to go back to prison. I can afford $900, but Lord, I ain't gonna have nothing. And at the time, I wasn't getting no kind of assistance, no food assistance or nothing. This was just me living off my means. And so I sought the Lord. I did. I sought the Lord, and this is what happened. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and he delivered me from my fear. So that was my fear. My fear was going, oh my gosh, I don't have a place to stay. I'm finna go back to prison. This is a real true story, y'all. All right? This is a real true testimony. And my fear was going back to prison, losing my stuff was in storage. Once again, I had just rebuilt my life. I have lost so many things in life and never kept it. And this time in life, I want to keep what I have because I'm doing good. I'm clean. I'm sober. I'm single. I'm saved. And I'm getting my mental stable and doing my inner healing. I'm really doing my self-recovery. Like what my sister says, my journey, my healing journey. That's what my sister said. My healing journey. I was really dedicated, and I'm dedicated still to my healing journey. So this is what happened. Let's read the word. And it said, I sought the Lord, Psalms 34:4-5. He said, I sought the Lord and he heard me. So pray. And he heard me and he delivered me from my fear. Watch this. This is crazy. This is what you're going to see today. They looked to him. Who is him? God. And they were radiant. Do you know when you depend on God, it brightens your day? The reason why I'm saying this is a truth to my testimony. I look to God. I didn't look to man. I say, Lord, I can't afford it, but I'm going to look to you, Lord, and God brighten my day. Okay? And I was in there telling people, hey, you know what? Even I'm talking to my mother, and she said, son, what you going to do? I said, you know what? I ain't even worried about it because God got me. This is a real true story, everyone. And I want you to understand that when God is on you, like the person you see today, it's because of God. Now, God gives us our choice. Choose who you're going to serve. God gives us decisions to make. And we're going to talk about it in class, making good decisions. So I made a good decision. I didn't have nothing against the church. But I say, Lord, by faith, hey, I need something cheaper. I need something where I can pay my rent and still have money to supply my needs without trying to go back to the streets and put myself in a predicament to do things I shouldn't be doing, which is a fearful thing. So it says, verse 6, he say, they looked to him, God, and they were radiant. Okay? This is when you shine. Like right now, God gets the glory. I'm shining because look where I'm sitting, okay? Now watch this here. And he said, and their faces were not ashamed. So listen, if you call out to God and you relying on him and you trust him, he's going to deliver you from everything. Your worries, your fears, your anxieties, all the stuff we're going to talk about today. And guess what? You're going to shine, and guess what? And their faces were not ashamed. So some people, don't be ashamed of Christ. Don't be ashamed of giving God glory. Don't be ashamed of where he brought you from. A lot of people, they be ashamed because they don't understand that it's not you that brought you from where you from. It's God. I'm not ashamed of Christ. I'm not ashamed of what he done for me. And their faces were not ashamed. So when you depend on God, don't expect to be disappointed. That's what I said. Yeah, I said that. Don't expect disappointment, okay? This is very resourceful. It's helpful. It's a true testimony. Faith will not let you be ashamed. God will not let you be ashamed. His love and his mercy endure forever. And today I will give God glory and a pat on my back for making the direct decision. It's a balance. God is there for us, but God also allows us to make decisions for ourselves. And sometimes we can make that wrong turn. We can make that wrong decision. But guess what? When you depend on God, he will not let you be looked ashamed. He won't have that shame look on your face. You ain't got to be ashamed of everything. So let's go. So like I was telling you about this class, this is Endorphins, part 2, the mental. Now what I'm teaching you, everyone, is really real. Like, I used to be arrogant. I used to be depressed. I used to be suicidal. I used to be anxiety. I used to be fearful. I used to be bashful. I used to be my self-esteem used to be real low. But guess what? I have changed. These things that I'm going to teach you today will boost your endorphins. And then I have a downside, when your endorphins are low. But we're going to go to the positive first. Let's go. It says endorphins acts the body natural shock absorbers. So listen, you see that? I could have went in shock. Oh my God, I ain't got no place to go. What I'm finna do? Because sometimes when you have a situation that you don't know how things are going to work out, it's called panic attack. You have panic attacks, or you see things that are very discomforting, and it can put you in shock. But the endorphins help you as a natural shock absorber, functioning as new neurotransmitters that block pain signals and reduce emotional stress. So your endorphin helps you, like I was telling you, you can hit some, you can be like, oh, and it helps, it helps. Like if you ever hit your funny bone, your endorphins kick in, and it helps you handle with that pain signal. And sometimes your endorphins can help you reduce emotional stress. So let's get into this real deep. Please pay attention to this class because it's very important. All right. Now, endorphins have mental health benefits. Number one, stress and anxiety relief. Now, if you listen to the conversation I was talking about, that could have gave you stress and anxiety. Think about some things in life where you don't know what's going to happen, what's the next move, or you can't pay the next bill, or your relationship falling apart, or you about to lose your kids, or your health is going down. This can cause stress and anxiety, but let me help you out. So you can have stress and anxiety relief. Endorphins acts as a buffer against stressors. So if you always stressed out, say, man, where my endorphins at? I need my endorphins, okay? All right. And we're gonna get into how to boost your endorphins. But listen, it says helping the nervous system calm down. So your endorphins help you calm down. Tell yourself, stay in control. That's all you got to tell yourself. I tell me and my brother, and I tell my nieces, and that's my new thing when my flesh or my anxiety or everything, or I start panicking. I just say, hey, stay in control. So you can tell yourself, calm down or stay in control. After spikes of intention, high levels are linked to reduce feelings of worry and fear. So you have not only prayer and talking to God, but in your brain, your endorphins can reduce your feelings of fear and worrying. So listen, today, stop the worrying, stop the fear, all right? Number two, antidepressant effects. Help alleviate symptoms. Now, alleviate means to lift off, all right? Symptoms of depression by improving mood and enhancing the release of dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in your brain that helps you feel good. Another feel-good chemical. That's why I wrote it in the notes. So I'm a little ahead, but that's what dopamine. So I can hear somebody saying, I'm gonna tell you just by the spirit. I have had a lot of bad days. I'm going off the notes a little bit, just a testimony, more testimony. I have been through some bad times. And I tell myself, there's no more bad days. There are, like, everything ain't gonna be pitchy and perfect, but it ain't no more bad days. You could tell yourself that, right? Because the things that we rely on, or we used to deal with in the past, them were bad days. When you have present now, you're in this present right now, you could tell yourself that. And your dopamine, that's feel good to tell yourself there's no more bad days. That's encouraging. That's speaking life, okay? And you can be confident, all right? You can be confident in that. I remember I used to live in like, man, I ain't gonna never get off drugs. I ain't gonna never have a successful life. I ain't gonna never have my own home. I ain't gonna never have my own. I ain't gonna never have no peace. I used to do that. So if you're doing that, stop doing that because you're not making yourself feel good. Now, a lot of people that's in addiction, you're looking for that feel good feeling. I want to share with you, as a person that's been on an addiction over 30 years plus, you can get sober and feel good naturally. Let's go to number 3. Confidence and self-esteem. Now, I did not tell you in the beginning of the video I didn't have a self-esteem. Today, I have more confidence in myself and my self-esteem because, let's get into it. Endorphins release through activities like exercise is associated with increased optimism, increased self-confidence, and more positive self-image. So listen, you can take this spiritually and naturally. You can give your life to Christ, believe in Him, speak life, live by faith, and see manifestation. And then within your brain, your endorphins, this help you increase. So when you have that desire to get better, them are your endorphins, okay? Your endorphins increase, like I say, once again, optimism. Sometimes your self-confidence. Now, I ain't talking about being proudful, but some people, we need that balance where we're humble and confident with ourselves. We need our self-confidence. Self-confidence, I don't know what I'm saying this, but self-confidence help you make the right decision for yourself. Self-confidence helps you know, lets you know if you are out of order or not. Self-confidence is when you can encourage yourself, all right? And a more positive self-image. Now, I was telling you in the beginning of the video that, yeah, I have a past history. I have said it to the world on TV recently that I have made a past history. Yes, I used to deal with addiction and lust and perversion and, things of the world. But today, my positive self-image is saying I let my life into Christ. I made a decision because some of the decisions you make can really, really motivate you to have a positive self-image. So today, focus on today and say, you know what? I don't want to be like my past. Today, I'm a new person. Today, I am trying to do, some people say I'm trying to do better. This is my saying, and it's incorporated by Mr. Darrell Walker, okay? Trying and doing is two different things. Be like Nike and just do it, okay? So you got to do it. Like me and my brother say, do it. You know what I'm saying? We do it. You feel me? So, yeah, don't worry about that. That's what we do it. Yeah, shout out to Brandon Jackson, my homeboy, Mr. B. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You feel me? So, this is very good. A lot of people, I want to say this and, give God glory and a little pat on the back as well as a balance, okay? You give God glory and then sometimes you pat yourself on the back. It's not being prideful, but when you broke down, you need self-confidence, okay? When you have a negative image in your past, you need a positive self-image. So see yourself better, okay? This is very good. Number 4, cognitive function may support brain health by improving focus, memory, and problem-solving skills. Now, I want to break this down. Work with me. When I was on drugs, I had a problem focusing. When I was in toxic relationships, I had a problem focusing. When I was in my little lusty, busty fornication stage, I had a problem focusing. I had a problem since I've been getting clean in my mind without the brain fog, which I taught in my last class. That fibro fog, I can remember stuff. My memory goes way back. I can remember all the way when I was like 3 years old, no lie. Okay, I can remember dreams. I can remember, most of some events. Sometimes if I sit down long enough, I can remember stuff that I really try to forget about. But we need memory, okay? Because sometimes, if you right now, you can sit down and I'm sharing with you a memory of where God brought me from. Sometimes you can focus on the good memories. You don't have to focus on the negative memories all the time. You can focus on good memories. And this will help you improve with life problem skills, okay? So you might have a problem, but because you are focused and you have self-confidence, you have more positive self-image about yourself, and you can remember, it'll help you when you come to a situation. You can be like, you know what, wait a minute. I had this problem before. I got skills to solve this, all right? Because sometimes we need problem-solving skills. Because when we have an issue, we can't run and talk to everybody. Sometimes we need, as men or women or individually, with the counsel of God, let me say that, or with your doing what's best for you. That's what I'm trying to get at. Sometimes you have to do what's best, not for the other person, but do what's best for you. Sometimes life problem skills is what's best for me. Okay, how can I, not saying but how can I avoid my personal problems How can I avoid trouble? How can I avoid disappointment? How can I avoid relapsing? How can I avoid fear? How can I avoid worrying? How can I avoid anxiety? How can I avoid stress? This is problem solving skills. Y'all heard it from me, okay? Because I used to be Mr. Toxic, okay? But today, I'm not Mr. Toxic no more. That's a problem solving skill. I'm not an addict anymore. That's a problem solving skill. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm not vengeful. That's a problem solving skill. Sometimes we can't, like I said, you can't run to everybody with your problems. Some problems, you're going to have to go to God and pray, or you're going to have to sit down with yourself and solve them yourself. Some problem solving skills, you got to have problem solving skills to figure out things for yourself, okay? This is very good because, like I say, in your endorphins in your mind, you can have that self-confidence. You can have that positive self-image. You can look at yourself and say, you know what? Not to say push people away, or it's a balance, because at the end of the day, God gives you decisions to make, but you also have decisions to make. A lot of people don't change because why? The problem solving skills. All right? Let's go. Now, I'm finna help you with this situation I was saying, why some people don't change, why some people are depressed, why some people are, having they racy thoughts in their minds they can't seem to stop. Because sometimes you have highs and lows. So the first topic I gave you was the highs. Now I'm finna give you the lows, all right? Low endorphin effects, all right? It says when the body release system is underactive, mental health symptoms, like I told you, PTSD, bipolar 1, bipolar 2, schizophrenia, Jesus help me, Lord. Psychosis, schizophrenia, I said schizophrenia. What's all these other mental health diseases that are out there feel more heavier. Okay? Then when your endorphin is low, your mental health feels more heavier. Okay? And then on top of that, not only it feels healthier, you get more intrusive. Like the thoughts or just all these negative thoughts just coming in, okay? And they get heavy, all right? Now in the spiritual, this is demonic warfare, keeping it real, okay? But let's go. Number 1, emotional instability. Common signs include persistent sadness. So if you're not happy today, your endorphins low. Okay, common signs include persistent sadness, irritability, especially in the evening, and mood swings. You see that? So right now, if you are experiencing sadness, irritability, and mood swings, your endorphins is low, okay? Now listen, this happens when people try to get clean, when you try to get sober, or you try to live right better than the past, or you try to, even spiritually, sometimes in your spiritual walk, you can have mood swings. You can be irritable because your flesh, your flesh want to do what it want. And I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where it came from. Number 2, heightened sensitivity. Now, everyday stress feels louder, and physical discomfort or minor aches become harder to ignore. So this is where stuff get heavy, y'all. I remember my times in my life when in my addiction, in my depression stage, where, I was sensitive. Like you could probably say something about me and I go get high. Or you probably look at me a certain type of way and it can break down our self-esteem. This is very serious. This is people that deal with trauma, PTSDs, triggers, addictions, and mental and physical illnesses. This is very true. So sensitivity is very real in the brain because, like I said, if you deal with these things, it's hard. It's hard to ignore. All right. So if you're dealing with that, you might want to get into some help, some positive settings or positive conversations or some positive friends to help you, because I had to go to a mental health hospital to get help. So you might want to check in. 211-988 is real. Number 3, poor resilience. A deficiency can lead to an inability to cope with life challenges, potentially contributing to impulsive behaviors or addiction. So here once again, I have dealt with this though. So if your endorphins are low, when stuff like something's happened, I don't know why I'm saying this. Remember the story I told you that I could have went back to prison? I could have had all these behaviors. I could have got impulsive behavior. I could have got mad. I could have, forget it. You know what? I'm finna go back and get high. And when they catch me, they catch me. That's an impulsive behavior. Or my addiction. I could have went back to my addiction. There have been some things in my life that, some challenges or some tests that I didn't pass the first time that I had to pass again. And I have passed them. So if you have a test in your life where you're going through some challenges, don't have impulsive behaviors or don't run back to that addiction. You know why? Because whatever's going on is teaching you how to cope with life challenges without contributing to the impulsive behavior or the addiction. Okay? You ever notice people like they get frustrated? What's the first thing? Man, I gotta smoke. I need a cigarette. I need to smoke a joint. Or I need a drink. You know what I'm saying? Or I need some Cootie Cat. Or I need that. I need Peter Paul. Okay? Yeah, I know what Peter Paul is. Okay? He's swinging. You feel me? So these are impulsive behaviors, Or you get irritated and you just punch somebody. That's an impulsive behavior. Or you get irritated and you just shout and make noise and get up and break stuff. This is impulsive behavior. You go to violence, okay? Or you cuss people out. This is impulsive behaviors. All right, so be careful with that. All right. That's poor resilience. Okay, so let's go. Number 4, sleep issues. Now, low levels are linked to trouble falling asleep or waking up feeling unfreshed. So sometimes you can sleep and wake up like, ugh, I feel like I ain't getting no rest. Or you go, sometimes you can really have trouble just going to sleep. You just sit there, toss and turn back and forth all night, back and forth. Your mind be racing, all these intrusive thoughts. This is because your endorphins are low, all right? A lot of people will say in the spiritual realm, this is a spiritual attack. But to be real with you, this is something that's going on eternal. You're having troubles going on eternal. A lot of these things, when your endorphins are low, there's a lot of eternal and mental issues going on. And I'm telling you that from experience, all right? But even though we fall down, what we do? We get back up. So I'm going to give you natural ways to get your endorphins back up, all right? Number 1, exercise. Aim for at least 20-30 minutes of moderate intense activity like brisk walking, swimming, or just dancing. I think today I might cut on the music and shake a leg. I might dance today, all right? Because I haven't danced in a while. Number 2, laughter. Now, one thing I do get a good daily dose of, shout out to my brother, the Bears, and some of my friends and some of my coworkers. Not coworkers. All right, I ain't got no coworkers. I'm almost finna go to work, right? Some of my friends that I speak with, coworkers, right? But anyway, sometimes genuine laughter, especially in social settings, triggers an immediate release of your endorphins. So you ever been in a bad mood and then you start talking to somebody and you start laughing and your whole mood changes? That's because your endorphins are released. Endorphins is a chemical in your brain, if you're just not tuning in. Number 3, dietary choices. Consuming dark chocolate. Now, I ain't tell you, don't be saying, Mr. Walker said, I'm on my fast and I need to eat chocolate. No, I ain't telling you, but if you are fasting, stay fasting, all right? I don't know why I'm saying that, but stay fasting. But if you feel, you ever seen, I don't know why I'm saying this, you ever seen women when they get sad, what's the first thing they want? Some dark chocolate. Okay, let's get into it. Dark chocolate, 70% plus cocoa, or spicy foods containing capsaicin. It's called capsaicin. The capsaicin is fountain in chili pepper, infused in creams, lotions, patches for minor muscles, joints, and joint pain. Okay, also for sclerosis and neuropathy. So this chili pepper cream can help stimulate the product that they're using, like in the creams and stuff, like I was saying. So not only that, you can feel good with a little chocolate, you can feel good with a little chili. Okay, and I ain't say go eat it. I said it comes in creams, lotions, patches for minor muscles and joint pain. Remember that, all right? Number 4, creativity and connection. Making music, creating art, volunteering, which I'm about to get into, and physical touch. Hugs, hugging is very good. Cuddling, if you have a spouse, where's she at? But anyway, if you have a spouse, cuddling is I love cuddling, all right? Are proven to boost your endorphins. So, a little hug can change something. If you got your spouse or your loved one, y'all in separate rooms, go in the room and say, hey, baby, or hey, man, or hey, woman, come here, man. Let's cuddle for a second. And cuddling can change. Even cuddling, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what I'm thinking about my nieces right now, but, it been times I had hard times. And I used to hold my nieces, and they're, Uncle Real, yes, baby. What you want? Can I get something from the store? I'd be in a bad mood, but because I done hugged and cuddled with them, I change it. It'll boost my endorphins. I'd be like, well, hold on. Let Uncle Ray run down the street right quick. Go make a couple of dollars. I'll be right back. And boom, I come back. And, sometimes a hug and cuddling can really change your mood and energize you. And I'm saying that from experience, okay? Now, we almost to the end of the class. Thank you for watching me this far. If you like who I am, you could go to YouTube and subscribe at Darrell Walker, 2 R's, 2 L's, and one word, Trauma Support Group Management. You'll see that handsome smile. Hit that subscribe button. Come and support your man that's really pushing his life's experiences and really talking the walk, the talk. You feel me? So understand that. I was like, what he just said? Yeah. Because you got a lot of people, they talk about it, but they ain't walking. But see, I'm talking about what I'm walking. That helped you out? Yeah, I hope that helped you out. That's my logo, y'all. That's my new logo. Talk the walk, the talk. You feel me? That's my new logo. So this is very positive. Mindfulness. Sometimes we need to sit down and pay attention to how we feel. Now, when I say we, you can probably do this in a couple, or you could do this individually. Sometimes, this is how you know we get to the end of the class, because I don't know what's going on. But I start off at the beginning that, hey, I got to pay attention what's going on in my situation. And listen, practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation or deep breathing helps calms the mind and trigger steady endorphin release. So if you feel overstressed, you feel overwhelmed, sometimes just stop and take a deep. Matter of fact, let's do a practice right now. Just, I know the class, you're getting a lot of information, all right? So let's do this. Let's just stop for a second. Take a deep breath. One more time, y'all. You feel that? You feel the relaxation. You feel, that calmness. That is your endorphins being released. That felt good. Like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to practice. People that deal with anger, you need to practice on your breathing. Why are you saying that, Mr. Walker? Because I used to deal with anger, okay? I got a charge for it. I ain't confessing to it. But back in my past history, I do have violent history, okay? With the police, right? So let's go. Just keeping it real. So listen, all those people from the street, or people that are hot-headed, or that toxic relationship, sometimes you don't have to argue. Sometimes just sit back, take a deep breath, practice this stuff. Practicing breathing technique will keep you from snapping. All right? It'll keep you from getting stressed out. It'll keep you from having anxiety. Sometimes you can sit down and breathe. It keep you from fear or worrying. This is very important. And listen, I want to say this. I am a true person. I'm a real person. I'm not an AI. And listen, at the end of the day, like I say, thank you for watching my class. And just remember this at the last of this note. You have the right to feel good about yourself and the life that you live. And I just want to encourage you that, like, you have every bit of right to make the right decision for you to be happy in your life, okay? Because I have lived a life where people have made choices for me and it wasn't the right choice. So as a man or an adult, as a man or a woman, once again, I'm going to say this in this video, you have the right to feel good about yourself and the life you live, and boost your endorphins the way I taught you in natural ways. And thank you for watching Trauma Support Group Management by Mr. Darrell Walker, where I'm not striving for perfection, but I'm striving for progress.